Alrighty. Okay, so I think we got a fair amount of people already. So probably gonna start pretty soon here. Hopefully everyone is doing good today. Everyone's staying safe and healthy during these times. I just want to thank you all for coming out today for my second session. Those of you who are here for my first, you kind of knows how it goes. I'm going to go through a general overview of my last session too, if you guys didn't get a chance to look at my recording. Also, as I said, in the chat function, I have a little description there. I have my YouTube channel there, so please subscribe to that if you haven't already, because all the recordings of these sessions will go on that YouTube channel. And I'll also be posting some workout vlogs soon, so be sure to keep posted there. And also, please put your email address in the chat function as well, because I'll be sending out email blasts, and that'll be the main way I'll be contacting people. So just put your information down there, and I will hopefully get to that soon after. So just before we start up here again, of course, my name is vanayverma. A lot of you guys know who I am, and my Gmail is right here, bottom left, and my Instagram handle too, vanay.verma219. Of course, it's all undercase. I don't know the font of the PowerPoint apparently doesn't let me do undercase. So just vanay.verma219 is my Instagram handle. You guys can contact me on any of those social media platforms. Also my Facebook, just Vinay Verma. I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I'm here for you guys, right? So any questions you might have, anything about fitness, nutrition, I'd love to contact and speak to you guys. So I'm here for you guys. So yeah, so you can contact me at those areas. So we're just going to start up now with just a roadmap about all the sessions. If you've seen my recording on my YouTube channel, you kind of maybe saw the schematic already. But this is an outline for the first 10 sessions. I only have 10 here just so it'd be easily digestible in the sense that I have intentions of doing more than 10 sessions, of course, but just to give you a little overview of the first 10, just so you can understand in the coming future what you can be seeing. And now I also said that these are all subject to change too. If this is all for you guys, so if there's something in session 9 that you'd like to see in session 3, for example, let me know. If there's something that you'd like to know that's not on here right now, let me know as well. I'm all here for you guys. So please, it's just a general roadmap of everything. You can see here our session today is about tracking calories, right? About, is it really neurotic or is it the main secret to weight loss? So we're going to be going over that and easy steps how to do that. It really follows up from our last session, which really delved into calories and the whole idea behind them. So yeah, that's the general roadmap there. And also some housekeeping as of right here is that, so any questions you guys might have, just keep those to the end. I love to hear them. Please don't hold off on them. Just keep them near the end so then we can make sure everyone can hear those questions, and also you had time to process the information. So any questions, please go to the end and I'll be sure to answer any of all those. And also, don't be shy. Everyone here is trying to learn information, and don't feel shy if you feel like your question's stupid or dumb. Like, don't think that. We're all here for each other. This is a fun environment, and I really want you guys to please ask me any questions, any and all questions. I'm open to any of it. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions. Like I said, my email's up there, and my passion is really to help you. I mean, I mainly started this because I love fitness and nutrition. I love weightlifting. I love bodybuilding. Like, this is a passion of mine. And I don't like when fitness is monetized. I don't like when people have to pay for common information, meal plans, workout plans. It's just really not fair. I feel like everyone should have access to that information, regardless of how much money something is. So I'm here for you guys. I just want to be able to give the information that I wish I was given at a certain point in my life. So like I said, I'm here for you guys. Yeah, please watch my last recording if you haven't already. Not a big deal. We're going to go through a little session 1 recap right now, just after this, just to make sure everyone's up to speed. But usually each session builds on the next, so it's important to kind of keep up with my YouTube channel and generally try to, watch the recordings whenever you can in your spare time. I really appreciate it. Also, if you had a good time today, if you're having a good time, if you were there in my first session and you liked it, please let a friend know. I really appreciate the support. If there's anyone else that you might know that benefit from this information, I really appreciate it if you could let them know. So please tell a friend. And also, I know there's some confusion that the meeting ID changed for this week. I had to move up the meeting time from 6:30 to 7 just because of making a few people's schedule. 6:30 didn't work with them. So I tried to move it up to 7 just to make sure everyone was able to attend. So now this will be the same ID no matter what. So if you're here right now, you have the same ID for the next session next week. So it's going to be the same one, and at 7 p.m. always. And like I said, put your emails in the comment section and subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? So we all can talk about that. So perfect. So a little session 1 recap. We're going to start with a recap of the information I gave in session 1. And so we're going to talk about the 3 energy sources again. I know if you watched the last one, we talked about that. So your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fat. So your carbohydrates are your body's main source of energy. We store carbohydrates in our skeletal muscle, our liver. This gets inputted into our bloodstream that we can use for energy. It's the most readily abundant source of energy for our body. In fact, our brain only runs on carbohydrates. So carbs are very important for efficient muscular function and even just function throughout the day to have enough energy to keep you happy and healthy throughout the day. Your next one is protein. Protein is a main component of building muscular tissue. Of course, we know that. If you're in, also protein can also be used for energy sources as well. Not readily though, specifically when we've been fasting for a long period of time, or if you're in a severe caloric deficit, that's when we start to tap into our body's protein stores, meaning our body will actually break down our muscular tissue if we're really low in energy. So if we're trying to build muscle, we got to make sure we eat certain amounts throughout the day in order to avoid muscular tissue breakdown. But in our next coming sessions, we're going to get into more of that information. So just so you understand, also fat, we talked about fat. It's the most high calorically dense form of energy, meaning per 1 gram of fat, you can excise the most energy out of 1 gram of fat compared to 1 gram of protein or 1 gram of carbs. So 1 gram of fat, you can excise the most energy out of it, really energy abundant. We store fat because if we're stuck on a desert island and we want to use fat for energy, we can tap into our body fat stores and burn fat for energy. So that's that right there. We talked about calories in, calories out too, or CICO. Like I said, if you see that abbreviation anywhere, CICO, that's what that means, calories in, calories out. And the general formula, right, we had up here, we had our calories in minus calories out. Let me just get my pen going here. So the calories out area, that's going to be our maintenance calories, meaning that if we take in less calories than we expend out, we will lose body fat. Our body will tap into our body fat stores, burn that fat. If we take in more calories in than out, we're going to gain body fat. And our calories out area, or our baseline, is called our maintenance calories. So the maintenance calories is the amount of calories you need to consume to keep the exact same body fat level and the exact same body weight distribution. So if you want to stay your exact weight, stay your exact body fat level, you eat at your maintenance calories. If we have less, so your calories out is your maintenance calories. So if we have less calories in below that baseline, we're going to be losing weight. So weight loss. If we have more calories in, so above our maintenance level, above that baseline, we're going to gain weight. So very simple there. So that calories out value is your maintenance calories. And I had a question last time, and I had a few questions to answer about how to properly calculate your maintenance calories. And there's a few ways. The most general way, a good place to start is to take your body weight in pounds and times it by 15. So basically, let's say you get like 2,000 calories when you take when you multiply your body weight by 15. If you eat less than that, if you eat less calories than that, you'll lose body fat. If you eat more calories than that, you'll gain body fat. Another way, there's also calculators online, but they're not too accurate because mainly your maintenance calories takes into account of how active you are, your height, your weight, all that stuff. But the calculators online are really not too good. So I would just take your body weight in pounds times 15. And also another way you can do it is just track yourself on the scale. So track how many calories you're eating every day. And when you wake up the next morning, before you eat, right after you go to the bathroom, when you empty stomach, weigh yourself and do that for a number of days and see, okay, is my weight going down or is it going up or is it staying the same? If you're eating a certain amount of calories and your weight stays the same every day, it means, okay, I'm eating at my maintenance level calories. If your weight's going down, it means you're eating below your maintenance. If your weight's going up, eating above your maintenance. So if you have any questions about that, then let me know, because sometimes that can be a confusing topic to start with. And mainly if you want to lose body fat, you want to be in a 300 to 500 calorie deficit. And today we're going to go over how to actually track those calories. So this is where the session 2 expands on session 1. And like I said, you want to eat less. My choice of words are very specific here. Everything is with intention, meaning that when I say less calories, not less food, a lot of trainers and people say, oh, you just need to eat less food if you want to lose body fat. That's easy for them to say. I mean, you're going to be hungry, right? What's the point? If it was so easy, everyone would just eat less food. It isn't. So the whole point is to make sure we eat less calorically dense food. So food that's still high in volume, right? Still large amounts of food, but just lower in calories, so less calorically dense. So like, for example, if I like to have a bowl of eggs in the morning, of whole eggs, like regular eggs, I can still have my full bowl of eggs, but make it egg whites. Egg whites is less calorically dense than regular eggs, and you still get the same amount, but just less calories. So that's an example of what I mean by high volume foods, low calorie dense. So then we have another part of my session, I want to recap here. So we talked about healthy, quote unquote, foods and why eating healthy does not mean you're going to lose weight. So here are some foods that are considered healthy, quote unquote, but they really are really high in calories, really calorically dense. It can make you gain weight so easy. So you got your olive oil here. Olive oil is not our friend. It's full, yes, it has healthy fats, but when you spread that on your pans at home, you're looking at an extra 300 to 400 calories without yourself even knowing. A few tablespoons of olive oil can be hundreds of calories. And if you're trying to lose weight and you're not accounting for your olive oil use, if you think you're in a caloric deficit of 300 calories and you're spreading a bunch of olive oil on your pan, which is around 300-400 calories, you can actually be eating in a caloric surplus without you knowing. So please do not use olive oil and use cooking sprays like Pam instead, or any other, no-name cooking sprays, way lower in calories, and you're not going to be putting all that unnecessary calories in your body. And then nuts, assorted nuts. Please stay away from nuts. If there's anything I can say, nuts are very, very high in calories, meaning one single cashew is around 10 calories. You might be saying, oh, well, 10 calories is nothing. A whole bowl of spinach like this big is 10 calories. So you can see how one single nut equals a whole bowl of spinach, meaning that, nuts are pretty calorically dense. And very rarely does anyone sit down on the couch and have one single nut. They have a whole bag of them. That can be 500-600 calories easy. So please stay away from eating nuts, assorted nuts. It's in your best interest to stay away from it. Even though they have healthy fats, you're going to be gaining weight. It's high calorically dense. Please stay away from nuts. Peanut butter. Regular classic peanut butter you get at the store, please stay away from that. Very high in calories, high in fat content. You can easily substitute it, which you can see on the far right here, hopefully, with PB2 powder. I have an example of it right here. This is peanut butter powder. It's, 60 calories for 2.5 tablespoons. Regular, for the same amount of calories for normal peanut butter, you're looking at 200-ish calories. This is 60 calories. So you're way less in calories, taste the exact same, not putting yourself through all those extra fats, taste the exact same, less calories. It's all you need. It's perfect. Rice and sushi. Okay, if you're sitting down for a sushi dinner, I love sushi. It's awesome, but just know that rice in general is very high calorically dense. And if you sit down, have a regular 8, 10 rolls like you generally have, that's the same amount of calories as a McDonald's quarter pounder, large soda, and large fries from McDonald's. And depending on your soy sauce intake and other sides, you might as well add a McDonald's apple pie in there as well. So that means that calorically wise, your sushi dinner far exceeds any Wendy's, McDonald's, Five Guys. It can easily do that because what they have is this large amounts of rice in the middle, just a tiny bit of tuna on your sushi, right? So the rice to protein ratio is really high, higher rice to protein. So we want to make sure that if you're trying to lose weight, please limit your rice intake. Pasta too, pasta very high calorically dense. And that's not even including like a bowl of pasta itself. A regular bowl is almost 1,500 calories, not including your olive oils that you put on the pan and even what you use for your meat sauce. So please stay away from that. And orange juice or any fruit juices itself, booster juice, any of those places, often, a regular booster juice cup's like 600-700 calories, upwards of 500 calories. And we can mitigate that by generally any liquid calories. So we're talking juices, like regular pop, you want to take those out. The point is that because you're just intaking calories for no reason, it doesn't make you more full drinking those drinks. You can get the same amount of liquid with 0-calorie drinks, meaning use diet soda, sparkling water, 0-calorie sugars in your coffee. If you want to use 0-calorie sweetener, if you can't drink, preferably you should drink your coffee black. If you can't drink your coffee black, it's not a big deal. But just put, 0-calorie sweeteners or cashew or almond milk instead of that cream. The cream and sugar, that's what gets you in the morning in your coffee, right? Your regular double Tim Hortons, don't do it. 2 creams, 2 sugars, that's basically hundreds of calories right there. So please stay away from that. And stop categorizing food as healthy and unhealthy, please. Like I said, what makes something unhealthy is the amount of it you eat rather than the food itself. So track your calories, be aware of what foods have a lot of calories, be aware about what foods have low calories, and just make sure you work those into your diet as you see fit. And like I said, calorie deficit, weight loss, being healthy does not equal weight loss. And then we talked about keto diet. Please do not fall for the keto diet. If you are a type 2 diabetic, however, and are prescribed by your doctor to go through a keto diet, if you're hyperglycemic and have a high glycemic index of carbohydrates in your bloodstream, then, you know, do what your doctor says and go on a keto diet. But if you're not a type 2 diabetic, don't go on a keto diet. It's like taking Advil if you don't have a headache. What's the point of it? Don't do it. Like I said, you might lose body weight, you know, on a keto diet. If you go keto for 1 week, I guarantee you're going to lose around 5 to 10 pounds. But is that fat? Are you losing fat? When you lose 5, 10 pounds, are you losing all body fat? And no, realistically, you're probably not going to be losing any body fat, mainly water, because for every gram of carbohydrate or glycogen, we store 3 to 4 grams of water. So basically the weight you lose is from water, not body fat. You're going to maybe be looking a little bit leaner simply because you're dehydrated. But it's really not a good choice of diet. You only lose body fat, remember, if you're in a calorie deficit, not by restricting macronutrients. So what we want to do though is usually aim for foods higher in protein and fiber and low in fat, because foods high in protein and fiber are going to really satiate and going to keep you full, and foods low in fat are going to be low in calories. So keep that in mind. All right, now on to session 2. So hopefully you guys have been following so far, and you guys understand everything. And if you have any questions, just let me know at the end. But we're going to start on to our session 2 part with the information about tracking calories. So we talked about calories in, calories out. So therefore, tracking calories does matter because we need to know if we're in a calorie deficit or not. There are some critics, however. A lot of people, you know, say certain things about tracking calories. So one thing I hear specifically from, you know, personal trainers or other people is that it's way too hard. You know, it doesn't fit a regular lifestyle. And what I have to say to that is, you know, like anything you do, it can become effortless. At one point, tying your shoe was hard, but then once you do it more, you just don't think of it. You know, once you learn how to track your calories, it becomes like second nature, and it becomes very easy to do. So don't be discouraged if it's a little bit foreign at first, because it can help you in the long run. And as you make it a habit, it becomes so easy. And it's 2021. We have apps. We have all in the back of every food. You have information. It's so easy to do. It's right there in front of you. You just got to take that extra step. And like I said, can it fit a regular lifestyle? So a lot of personal trainers say this, like, you know, I don't really get my clients to do this because they can't fit a lifestyle. I just want them to do kind of intuitive eating, kind of understand how they are. And what I have to say to that is, you know, trainers who usually say this usually don't have faith in their clients, or people, they don't have faith in them. Because they think that you are too lazy. They think that you will not, you know, take the time out of your day to track your calories. And that if, and also what they want to do is that they want to make sure that you buy their meal plans. If you're tracking your own calories and know what's in your food, you don't really need to buy people's meal plans. But if they give you that tool to track your calories, then now a source of income for a lot of the fitness industry, which is meal plans, is taken away. So they kind of try to make it seem that it's very hard. It can't fit your regular lifestyle. It's a hard thing to do, but that's so far from the truth. And, you know, also personal trainers don't want to challenge their clients at all, or put them under a little bit of challenging information, because they don't want to lose their clients. You know, if you tell your client, hey, I want you to track your calories, but the client may be a bit lazy, they are scared of losing them. So what I say to you is that please track your calories. It's not hard. It's really something that, like, it's going to be beneficial for your whole life, and it can fit a regular lifestyle. You just need to start doing it. And also, there's also a stigma to saying, you know, people who track calories are very neurotic, obsessive, and they need to relax. And what I have to say to that is, you know, meanwhile, the people who say tracking your calories is obsessive, they have 24 apps to track their Instagram followers. And they have a number of apps to track their bank account to the 100th decimal place. So therefore, if we're tracking our Instagram followers, our bank account, why shouldn't we track what we're putting directly in our body, right? We have one body for the rest of our lives. We might as well be good to it and know what we're putting in our body. So start, you know, treating this as a regular thing, just like how we keep track of everything else in our lives. We need to keep track of our calories. So it's very simple. And this is the main, one of the main informations I really want to get by, and it's basically being consistently inconsistent. You might be wondering, okay, like, you know, what does that mean, consistently inconsistent? That means just start tracking your calories. If you're not 100% exact, don't worry about it, right? We don't have to worry, about it if we're not 100% with tracking our calories. You don't have to be exactly correct, but just start doing it. If you're a little bit inconsistent, but you're tracking every day, that's very important. So we have to make sure that you're consistently trying to do it, and you're not also saying, oh, I don't really want to do this too hard. Try to do it. Be consistent. If you're a little bit inconsistent, that's great. It's better. At least tracking a little bit is better than not tracking at all. So be consistently inconsistent. So I want to ask this question now, can we get away with not tracking our calories? So this is more for in the critic sense of let's say you do think it doesn't suit your life or it's hard to do. Can we get away with not tracking? And I want to bring up this review done by a UK group called the Behavioral Insights Team. You can search it up on Google. It's the review is called Counting Calories, How Underreporting Can Explain the Apparent Fall in Calorie Intake. So they found by looking at statistics in the UK over the last 40 years, they found a really cool information here. They found that official statistics showed a large decline in calorie consumption. So when people self-reported in the UK over the last 40 years, self-reports of calorie counts have declined in the last 40 years. So most people have, in the last 40 years, they said they've been eating less and less. But at the same time, right, at this apparent self-report decline of calories, we've seen an increase in population weight gain in the same 40 years. So something doesn't add up. People are saying they're eating less calories, but they're gaining weight. So something's wrong here. And what they found, their conclusion was that people are severely underestimating their caloric intakes. People are just bad at tracking their calories. It's that simple. If someone thinks you're eating 2,000 calories, you're eating 3,000 calories. So obviously this is a big issue that must be addressed. And we shouldn't shy away from saying, oh, you shouldn't track your calories, it's too, hard, too obsessive, because it's obviously an issue. Last 40 years, people's weight are going up and people think they're eating less. So we got to key into this and make sure, how can we make this better? So my conclusion is that, estimating your caloric intake, just eyeballing things without actually tracking, works only if you have experience properly tracking your calories in the first place. So how can someone know what 100 calories of chicken looks like just without never tracking it? It doesn't make any sense, right? And often I hear critics say, even in medical journals, people saying, well, the caloric information on the back of the food is not 100% correct. It's off by 0.5%. And that's just so pedantic. It doesn't make any sense. If you're worrying about the absolute minutia of the calories, that's, again, you're going against a consistently inconsistent principle. Don't worry about it. Just start tracking. It's important because obviously people don't have a good idea about how much food they're intaking. A lot of even studies in the New England Journal of Medicine, the #1 journal for medical information in the world, in their methods section, when they talk about studies to do with obese or overweight patients, they often use a self-reporting caloric method tool. But however, they never talk about actually teaching their participants how to track calories. So you use someone that doesn't have any expertise tracking calories is self-reporting their calories. So it doesn't make too much sense. So we got to learn how to do it. So now I've been talking a lot about calories. Now we're going to start about how to do it. So this is what you need. So you need a food scale. London Drugs anywhere. You can get them anywhere, really, Walmart, small little food scale. You can get them, usually you want it to be in a number of units, so you can press a button, you can have grams, ounces, all that thing, and you usually up to 2 decimal places is what you want. So they're pretty good. Then you want a measuring cup. You can see in the picture here, like a Pyrex measuring cup. It just dashes that outlines, the cup numbers, 1/2 cup, 2 cups, and it's very important when you're taking servings of egg whites, for example, or milk, that kind of thing. So very important. And then FitnessPal. It's an app on the App Store. It's completely free. Just download it. And then you can use a calculator. You can use your iPhone calculator. That's it, right? There's not much else. So all you need is those 4 things, and you can get started with tracking your calories. So let's start with a general example here. So let's say I poured 320 grams of egg whites. Let's say I had my food scale here. I put my Pyrex cup on there. I zeroed the scale and I poured out 320 grams of egg whites. Now, how do I track how many calories are in that egg white? So this is the main screen of MyFitnessPal. Once you sign up for MyFitnessPal, you can see this main screen here. There's a few things I want to direct your attention to. The first thing is this arrow right here. This is goal. You can click that area with your thumb, and then you can change that number based on your maintenance calories. So that arrow, that red arrow, is where you input your maintenance calories, right? So what will happen, what my FitnessPal will do is that when you eat food, it'll track it, and then it says -0 food here. However much food you intake, it will subtract that from your total, your maintenance calories, and it'll tell you how much is remaining. There's also an exercise function. So if your phone is synced to track your steps, it will automatically tell you how much calories you lost from working out. So let's say you burned 100 calories from working out. That's 100 calories more you can eat in a day. But it's not really too accurate with your iPhone. So if I were you, I would kind of ignore this exercise number because it's really not accurate. Just make sure you hit your proper goal and make sure you know how much food you're intaking. It'll tell you how much is remaining right here. Okay. So now what we want to do is, when we understand this screen, we want to press this little button here, this plus button, okay? When you press that plus button, you're going to see a number of options. You want to click the food button there, right? So this option says food, right? There's a number of options. Just hit the food button with your thumb. Then after we hit the food button, you're going to see a number of options, either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks. So let's say I want to log my lunch for today. You can split it up in your meal. So I want to click lunch. So now when I click lunch, it will have some history of foods I've inputted, I've eaten for lunch here. Really, you can see here, really, interesting foods, Greek yogurt and pickles, right? I'm an absolute food connoisseur, you can see. So basically, if you want to log food, there's 2 ways you can do it. So you can search for food, any food you want, the name of the food, you can search for it. Or the most easy way to do it is by scanning the barcode of the food. So every food will have a barcode on it. So because we're doing egg whites here, have some egg whites right here. There's a barcode on this food right here. On every carton or any package of food, there's a barcode. You want to click that button that says scan barcode, and your phone will turn to a little bit of a camera, just like barcode scanners at any grocery store. Your phone will act as a barcode scanner, and you scan that barcode. You don't even have to hit a button. It will automatically pick it up once you put the phone camera over top of it. Now, once this barcode scanner scans it, picks it up, it'll automatically go to this page. So it automatically knows what barcode you scanned, and it'll go right to that food exactly. So here is the egg whites. Now we have a number of things to look at on this screen. You have your macronutrient breakdown here. Egg whites, 1 gram of carbs, 0 grams of fat, protein. This is a textbook food we're talking about low calorically dense and high in protein and high in satiating material. So high in protein and low in fat. So this is, a textbook great food if you want to lose weight. Now what we see here in the red circle is we see serving size and number of servings, okay? And they're in blue, meaning that you can tap them and you can change them. So let's say we click on the 100 grams. Let's say we click on the serving size there. We're going to see a number of options now. We're going to see 100 grams, 1 gram, 1 ounce, 3.5 ounce. And this is why usually your scale should have a number of functions like ounces and grams, so you can switch between these serving sizes. Let's say I want to stick with 100 grams. I'm okay with that serving size, okay? I click the 100 grams. I click that check mark there in the top right. So I'm going to click this once I'm all good, and I think, okay, yeah, I want 100 gram serving size. Now remember, we said we had 320 grams of egg whites. So 320 divided by 100 is 3.2, right? So 320 grams of egg whites divided by the 100 grams, which is the serving size, is 3.2 servings, right? Pretty simple math. So what you can do is just back here, you can tap that 1 with your thumb and just literally type in 3.2. And automatically my FitnessPal will convert to the amount of calories 3.2 servings of 100 grams is for egg whites. And it'll tell you the protein, it'll change the protein numbers and everything. So it's really, really cool that way. It's so easy, it does everything for you. Now, let's say, for example, you wanted to change the serving size. Let's say when I click that serving size button, I wanted to go to 1 gram. So I click 1 gram now and then hit that check mark button again on the top right. Then I can just type in 320 because it's simpler that way. Usually for some foods, I want to just bring this up. Some foods, they won't have such a nice serving size number. So they'll say serving size 170 grams. That's not a nice number. And an option often when you click the serving size number, they won't have any other options. So let's say I had 320 grams of egg whites, but the serving size for the egg whites was 170 grams. This is where the calculator comes in. I would just take 320 grams, because that's how much egg whites I have, divided by 170 grams, which is the serving size. And that's going to be 1.88 servings of egg whites. and you just type in 1.88 under number of servings there. So in weird foods where they don't have any other options for nice round numbers of serving sizes, just use your calculator to divide. So if you have any questions about that, just hold on to them and then we'll go over that at the end, because sometimes that can be a bit confusing. So now once we're good, we can click this check mark button on the top right once we're satisfied with everything. And now it'll go right into our lunch area. And often a kind of fun little thing, my FitnessPal will say, this food's high in protein. It'll let you know about the macronutrients of the food. But what's really important is that now you can see it's logged 144 grams of egg whites, 200 minus 144. Now it'll tell you how much is remaining, how much food, how much calories you can eat more in the day. This is very important, so keep track of this. So this is just an example screen of one of my days of eating, of one of my tracking days on January 21st. If you have the screen and you just scroll all the way down, you can see this area that says complete diary, nutrition, and notes. If you click the nutrition area, you can see your breakdown for the day of all your macronutrients. You can see how much protein you consumed, how much carbs you consume. And this is just an example of one of my days. You can see all the macronutrients. But like I said, don't get really harped up on all the macronutrients. It's calories in, calories out. So don't worry about ratios of carbs to fats. Relax, it's not a big deal. However, if you are interested in building muscle, specifically if you're a male or anyone, male, female, anyone, people often think this just goes for males, but it's for everyone. It's the general rule of 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So whatever pound of body weight you are in pounds, you want to do 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So that means usually I go much higher in this. I have way more than this threshold, simply because protein keeps you full and it's very satiating. So generally keep that in mind if you really want to gain muscle. So I'm just going to talk about, specifically this week, I usually have a recipe of the week at the end, but I want to talk about examples of low caloric food options you could just find in the grocery store, for example, because this is going to be very important just by when you go down the aisle. And first, I'll talk about just Greek yogurt, right, with Walden Farm syrup. So Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, really low in calories and really high in protein and really filling. You can put a lot of this in a bowl and it'll be really low in calories. Almost a full bowl is like almost only 100 calories. If you want to get sweet, you can use 0-calorie syrup, Walden Farm syrup. This is the pancake syrup version. It's literally 0 calories. If you want to buy these, you can click on the link there or type in the low carb grocery, and they sell them online. You can just order them online. They're only $5 a bottle. And the 0-calorie syrup, they have strawberry syrup, chocolate sauce, caramel sauce. They even have mayonnaise, 0-calorie mayonnaise, 0-calorie ranch, anything, 0-calorie barbecue sauce. So it's really cool tool you can find on there. And Smart Pop popcorn. Okay, I love this stuff. Right here. You can find it pretty much anywhere. If you're in BC, Save on Foods has it great. Thrifty Foods, basically any general grocery store will have them. It's only 160 calories for a whole big bag. Regular movie popcorn with all the butter and additives is like 500 calories, only 160 calories. The same amount of popcorn, tastes just like regular amount of popcorn, but only 160 calories. It's really awesome. They also have the small 90-calorie bags too, which are great. And please do not get Skinny Pop. It's the biggest scam on earth. They call it Skinny Pop, so you think it keeps you skinny. But if you actually look at the nutrition facts on Skinny Pop, and you look at the serving size and then the calories, it's actually pretty high in fat content, and it's way more calories than Smart Pop. They try to get you there because they say it's skinny, but really it's actually really high in calories. So please don't fall for the Skinny Pop scam and just go for Smart Pop popcorn. Lowest calorie popcorn, tastes just like regular butter popcorn, and you're going to love it. High in fiber, it's healthy stuff. Nacho Selects turkey and chicken slices. So I believe I have this here. Just look like this. It's so simple. They're just lunch meat. But why I love this is that for 4 slices, it's only 70 calories. So for like 6-7 slices, you're only looking around 100-ish calories or so. It's really not a lot of calories. High in protein, awesome to put in your sandwiches, low calorie dense, high in protein, really good option if you're on the go. So these are really good. Next one is soups. People might think soups are unhealthy. Well, there are some unhealthy soups, like like clam chowder with all the cream and the milk. Like that's really high calorically dense. But some chunky soups, like here I got my chicken with rice chunky soup. This is pretty low in calories. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of volume. In a regular soup can, it's like 2 bowls of soup. So it's high in volume. It's going to expand your stomach, keep you full. and it's pretty low in calories. So don't shy away from low calories dense soups. Soups are always a great option that pair with your food. Cashew milk. For a full cup of cashew milk, you're looking around 25 calories for a cup as opposed to 120 for a regular milk. So that's why I always have cereal still every day. I can do that because the sugary cereals we think of, like, oh, they're really unhealthy, but honestly, they're not even that high in calories. Frosted Flakes, often it's around 110 calories for like a normal bowl. It's the same amount of calories as regular oatmeal. These sugary cereals aren't sugary cereals aren't really that high in calorie. What really makes a cereal high in calories is the regular whole fat milk you're using. So use cashew milk. You're gonna cut the calories in half and still have your favorite cereals. Momenti pizza. I'm not too sure if you guys can see it. Top right here. These are only 400 calories, and you can literally find them anywhere. Safeway, Save-On, 50 Foods, like basically any grocery store. They're like this big. They're like, and they're really thick. They taste like regular pizza, same thing, but only 400 calories. And you can, what I usually do is I slap on some of these Natural Selects turkey and chicken slices, so they're really low in calories. Add the extra protein on that, and this is a really low calorie pizza option. So really good personal pizza option, low in calories. I really highly advocate for them. They taste really good too, so they're awesome. Give me a sec here. Let's see. My screen's being bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay, next one is lean cuisine. So these are also called smart ones. They're low caloric frozen meals. I have some here. These are some of my favorite ones. You can buy them anywhere. Lean cuisine smart ones. They're like only 160 calories for a whole one of this. And if you're like trying to gain muscle as well, this is like 14 grams of protein, 14 to 16 grams of protein, 160 calories. Really good, low in calories. If you're on the go and you want a low caloric snack but kind of want some protein, you can take one of these with you. Warm them up, toss them in your bag. It's a great option for just on the go. Also smart ones, lean cuisine and smart ones. You can find them anywhere. Really good stuff. And egg creation. So I talk a lot about egg whites, but I don't know, something about having the regular whole eggs, the regular, eggs with the yolk in it that looks yellow. It just tastes a bit better personally for me. I love egg whites too, but I also love when it has egg yolk in it. But you get these called egg creations. Again, you find them anywhere. And mainly it's your regular whole eggs, but with a lot of the fat removed. So you just pour it out, and it's not like, it's not like powdered eggs and unhealthy stuff you find, at some places, the powdered eggs. This is all natural. It's just regular eggs, whole eggs, but with the fat removed. It tastes just like normal eggs, but then cutting the calories by like hundreds of calories. It's awesome. So look for this yellow carton in your dairy section. I highly recommend if you love a good omelet in the morning, scrambled eggs, those are awesome. So yeah, that is pretty much it now for my general session. Just a few things quickly before we end off here. Next Wednesday, February 3rd, I'm planning to have another one. It'll be the same link, same everything at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For those of you on the East Coast, it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, please save this link, the Zoom link, right? If you're here right now, you'll have it for next week. So that's awesome. And session 3, we're talking about, are you wasting your time with ab workouts? And basically, can you spot reduce fat? So that's going to be a really important session, especially now we're going to be diving in more to the fitness aspect of this. So the first 2 sessions, we looked more at the nutrition. Now I want to go into the fitness aspect. So that's going to be a really fun session. And like I said, please feel free to contact me through any of my social media outlets. And I'll have a workout vlog coming soon on my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, so now this is the best part now. So if you have any questions at all right now, just please unmute your mic. And I'd love to hear your questions. Any questions at all? Any questions? Please don't be shy. Don't be shy, please. Yeah. Hello?
So, Vinay, when you talk about the weight, when you say body weight times 15, the body weight you're talking about is what your goal weight is or what your current weight is times 15 for maintenance?
That's an awesome question. So it's your current weight in pounds times 15, because ideally you want to be consuming, if you're interested in losing body weight, you want to be consuming less calories. So to have, because you want to know where you're at right now, you want to know the amount of calories you're intaking that is maintaining your current body composition. So what you want to do is you want to take in your body weight in pounds right now, your current body weight in pounds times that by 15, and then adjust your calories according. So in a deficit, if you want to lose body fat. So your body weight right now times 15. And if you want to lose body fat, or if you want to lose weight, eat in a caloric deficit. If you want to gain weight, eat in a caloric surplus. So does that kind of answer that in general?
Thank you. Yes.
No worries.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Who's this?
So you talked a lot about losing weight and calorie deficit. For a calorie surplus, if you're trying to put on more muscle, like workout and eat over your caloric, your regular calories, the 15 times whatever your body weight is.
Yeah.
How much more should you eat? Like how many more calories should you eat without that, like just turning more into fat compared to like trying to like build muscle steadily? So is there like ranges of how much more you should eat?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And this is one of the most common questions I get. And in lifting and fitness communities, this is like one of the biggest questions. So I'm going to explain this in detail here. So if you want to gain, this is a common misconception and a myth of the fitness industry, is that you can actually still gain muscle in a calorie deficit. When you're cutting, you can gain muscle. So you don't have to be bulking to gain muscle. The best way I personally think to gain a muscle, and is often understood throughout the fitness community, is to main gain. What that means is eat at your maintenance calories. So if you bulk and eat in a calorie surplus, you're basically just going to be gaining body fat. Now you might be getting stronger on all your lifts, and you might be, you might think, oh my God, I'm getting stronger, therefore I'm gaining muscle. But realistically, you're just gaining body weight. And the more body weight you gain, the easier it is to put up weight, just through Newton's third law. Essentially, action reaction forces. The more force you have behind the weight, the more force you can push up. So basically, the more fat you carry, it's easier to push the weight up because it almost acts like a spring. So inadvertently, when people bulk, they think they're gaining muscle because, but inadvertently they're gaining body fat because they think they're gaining muscle because they're able to push more weight. Now, after you bulk, everyone usually has to cut. But when you cut, remember I said that when you're in a severe caloric deficit, your body will tap into your muscular stores to actually burn off muscle and break down muscle for protein and energy. When you cut then, and you're in a cut for a long period of time, your body will actually break down the muscle that you gained in your bulk. So what I usually say is don't bulk, right? If you need a cut, you need a cut. If you need to lose body fat, if you feel like you need to, you can do that. But what I say, if you want to gain muscle at a slow, steady rate, just eat at your maintenance because you will gain the muscle without gaining the extra fat. So stay at maintenance and get slow, steady gains. If you're as a natural athlete, meaning you're not enhanced, not taking any forms of testosterone or any boosters, you might, if you're a regular intermediate lifter, if you gain 4 pounds of muscle in 1 year, that's amazing. You have insane genetics and you're really good. Like you're just awesome at weightlifting. So you have to kind of put your standards down and know that if you gain 2 to 3 pounds of muscle a year, that's really good. That's really, really good. So I would mainly go for eat at maintenance calories and steadily gain muscles throughout the years. And, over time that will build up.
Yeah, thank you. That really helps.
No worries. Any other questions, guys?
I just have a quick, it's kind of similar to the last one though, but
Sure.
if I like bulk up and like gain weight and get stronger and build muscle, is there like a certain amount of protein I need, or can I just eat like fats and carbs and still build muscle too, as long as I'm in like a caloric surplus, if that makes sense?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So mainly, this is also a very common question I get here. Let's see if my pen works so I can explain it. When I said you need to have 0.8 grams of protein per body weight, that's like a threshold level. You'll often see, if you guys have studied in your science classes, you'll see this kind of curve. It's called a saturation curve, right? Your y-axis and your x-axis. This means that past a certain point, the more you do, it kind of levels off. So if you eat more than 0.8 grams of protein per body weight, it's okay, but you don't need to. You just got to make sure to hit that threshold. Let's say you have 1.2 grams of protein per body weight. That's pretty much the same. There's no significant difference between that and 0.8 grams of protein per body weight. 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So, but often, however, if you're in a caloric deficit and you want to maintain your muscle, I would actually recommend going a bit higher than that. So around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or even 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. But usually eating more protein is always generally better because you're basically reducing the chance of any muscle loss, and in general, protein just keeps you full more. So as long as you're hitting that threshold of 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, you're going to be good. If you want to go more than that, that's great too. But I really wouldn't go less than that. That's kind of how I think about it.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah, I have a question too, actually.
Sure.
So I was looking to get my body fat percent like looked at for self-interest purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, what are the different ways I should go about doing that? Like there are scales that sometimes tell you that, and also your water weight, but how reliable like are
Yeah. So this is another great question. You go to the gyms. I don't know if you guys have seen this. You step on the thing and you put your hands out and it like takes your body fat percentage. Those are really like not good. They're not accurate at all. And to be honest, there's a number of different body weights things. You can go underwater, a water density contraption. There's the DEXA scan where you literally stand like you lie in an MRI machine and it scans your body fat composition. But even that is not too useful. The only way to properly estimate your body fat composition exactly is to literally like measure every gram of fat internally, outside. It's just, you basically can't do it. It's kind of impossible. But most of those scales and those machines aren't accurate. But generally, this is like usually for males, around 15% is like a good healthy body fat, and around and considered around 25% plus is considered clinic or obese in a clinical sense. But mainly this is the, and then for females, 25% of body fat is considered generally healthy, and around 35% is considered obese and clinically scales. But you need to understand that body fat percentages honestly just give more stress than anything. Realistically, the best form of your body fat, the best body fat estimator is your eyes. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel that you want to lose body fat, that's pretty much all you need. The number doesn't really tell you much. And realistically, people get really harped on the fact that, oh, am I 12%? Am I 17%? Am I 21%? It doesn't really matter what percent you are. But if you look in the mirror and you feel like you want to lose body fat, then just lose body fat. Keep it simple like that. A lot of different things will tell you different percentages, but realistically, it just causes more anxiety, I find, than anything else. So if I were you, I would mainly focus on just keep it simple and say, do I want to lose body fat and do I want to get leaner? If you do so. Don't worry about the exact number, because the exact number is never actually accurate, and there's no actual way to measure your body fat 100% efficiently without it being kind of wrong. So if I were you, I would just generally look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, if there's something you want to lose, if you don't want to lose anything, great. If you want to lose body fat, but just kind of be honest with yourself and don't put extra stress about, what actual percent am I? Because it's really hard to tell, and you'll get a number of different opinions. And it's just generally too hard to kind of tell.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions, guys?
Hey Vinay, how's it going?
Hey man, how are you?
Good, man. I had a question. You talked a lot about density and volume of calories. Like you gave the example of a bowl of salad or a bowl of spinach is about the same amount of calories as like a nut or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a correlation between volume and how full you feel? Like, will that like bowl of salad make you feel more full than that one nut? Is there like rich foods that make you feel more full but have like a lower volume?
Yeah, so exactly. So some of those foods I talked about in my last session about, steak, chicken, fish, these are foods that you can eat a lot of and that low calorically dense or high in volume. And the principle behind it, like let's say you said, if I have a bowl of salad, will that make you feel full? And it will, because what happens physiologically when you consume high volume foods, it literally distends and stretches your stomach like a balloon would. And when your stomach extends in volume, just like a balloon, it sends signals to your brain telling you, hey, I'm full. So the actual mechanical increase in the size of your stomach will literally tell you I'm more full. That's why we can utilize high volume, low caloric foods, because the more your stomach is filled, the more you won't feel hungry, right? Because if your stomach is filled, the signals it sends to your brain, that your stomach won't say, I want more food because it's already full. The signals will be, hey, I kind of want to stop eating because I'm full. And then I need to digest this first before I can have more. So there is exactly a correlation to that. So that's why that's the hack behind it. eat high volume foods but are low in calories, because your stomach doesn't know calories, your stomach knows volume. So the more food you eat, your stomach's going to be stretched more and it's going to feel full. So a bowl of salad, for example, if you're like in the middle of the night and you wake up and you're really hungry, don't go down and reach for the bowl of chips or other stuff like that. Make a big salad, like a huge bowl like this big of spinach, put some tomatoes in there. That's going to be max 30, 40 calories. Also make sure not to put any high, ranch and that kind of dressings on it. You can get 0-calorie dressing from the low carb grocery that I linked before in my slide there. Put that on, you're going to feel so full. So yes, there is. The higher volume food you eat, you're going to feel more full. Hopefully that answers everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Renee, it's Claudia.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, good. I actually downloaded the FitnessPal app,
Mm-hmm.
but it's prompting me to get the premium.
Don't
Yeah, and so I keep exiting it, and I was just going to ask if you know what the difference or what that one does, but it keeps kind of like popping up the ads to get it, or if I want to do anything. I don't know if that's just because it's signed up.
Yeah, so with the premium thing, so
yeah,
you don't need, so for all the functions we spoke about before, you don't need a premium at all. The premium is realistically, if you want to track specific, if you want to add specific protein grams, it's very minute things. I think you get extra meal plan ideas or something like that. It really isn't a big deal. They just kind of, and I think you don't have ads on the bottom. So, but realistically, I've never had any issues with it free. So just keep the free version. Don't go for the paid version. It's completely free. If it prompts you, I believe there's a prompt, you can just exit out there. But I think right after you download it and you start tracking, it won't ask you anymore. Like I never get asked for the first time I track. So.
And I know someone asked about a scale. I actually a couple months ago bought a Fit Track Pro, and we needed a scale anyways at home. And it's actually pretty awesome. There's an app to it, right? And it really, I don't know if obviously just it's not going to be precise like you said, but it actually it tracks my weight and how much it fluctuated. Like I'll do my weight, my BMI, my BFP, my muscle rate, body water, bone mass, protein rate, even my metabolic age, which I'm considered to be 43. So that was an ouchy one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice to see numbers, and I think a lot of people are focused on numbers, like myself. But you're right, it is how you feel, and that doesn't matter. So if we just erase that mindset and just actually, if you just put on your clothes right away, right there, you'll feel different already.
Yeah. Exactly. So the main numbers I would talk about, and we're going to talk about in our next session, it's the concept of scale anxiety. Usually you should track your weight every morning after you wake up before you eat, because your scale, that's really the only number I feel that will really be useful, because it will kind of tell you or give you an idea about how you're doing with your food and your eating. Because when you track your calories, tracking your weight comes with it like just the same. So that means that like, don't feel the only numbers I would kind of just, pay attention to and generally track is your weight and like your actually weight in pounds. But don't worry about like the other numbers, because the actual BMI, the actual other stuff like that, there can be some tweaks in the numbers there, but just kind of make sure you're tracking your weight every day and make sure that you're not fluctuating too crazy. Usually every day your weight will fluctuate, like if we have less water one day, more water, more sodium, whatever. But just usually your body weight in pounds is something that you kind of want to track every day just to keep a good hold on.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. So perfect. Hopefully that's everyone's questions. If you have any more questions, like I said, please contact me through my email, Instagram, Facebook. I love to answer them. And I will see you all next week. Same Zoom meeting, same time. Same Zoom meeting link, same time and everything. So thank you so much today for coming, guys. You don't understand how much this means. I really appreciate the support. You guys coming here and just spreading the message, being advocates for health and fitness. And, if you can pass this information on to people in your life, that's what I really hope for. Just good information being disseminated to the community is what I really hope for. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, man, I learned a lot.